For those of you who just can't even grasp that we live under the heel of judicial tyranny, if you're African American, look back to Dred Scott. The Dred Scott decision in the 1850s, I think it was a 7-2 decision, said that black human beings were chattel property under the U.S. Constitution and that slavery was legal. Then Plessy v. Ferguson in the late 1890s. Then in that court decision, 7-1, the court said that separate but equal was totally legal. In other words, it was a total affirmation of the Jim Crow laws, which were blatant discrimination against African Americans. Okay? We've dealt with judicial tyranny before, and now we are living under its heel. And people, we are not a free people. So in your, I'm going to talk about the coming elections in the next segment, but I want to put something out there. There's a lot of people right now that are whining and complaining about Michelle Obama's lunch program. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. There's a lot of people whining about English as second language schools. There was a big story about 63 million people in America that in their homes they speak another language besides English or their primary language in their home. And I can understand why people would say, well, we want them to be able to read English so that they can read our Constitution. Look, let me cut to the chase for a second. Number one, they're killing babies, okay? We've got the militant homosexuals on the march. We have become a slave state to the federal plantation. Our currency is being debased. We have become a debtor nation to the Chinese. We've got really big problems, okay? Big evils that are engulfing us. And we can mock Michelle Obama's lunch program, and I promise you I will. But who cares what language people are speaking in their own home? I want to tell you something about the people who are destroying this nation, okay? You ready? They all speak English. English is their first language. And most of them that are destroying the nation, look at these judges. You know, Sotomayor, Kagan, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Kennedy. Guess what their first language is? Except for maybe Sotomayor. It's English. Right? And Sotomayor learned English really, really well. And she's a part of the problem. So when you get these fundraising letters and you have these people saying, well, we ought not to be letting foreigners in here and all them Hispanic people and speaking a foreign language and they need to be learning English. Didn't do so much good for Sotomayor. Didn't do so much good for Kagan. Okay? The language, I would rather have 100 million people in America that spoke Spanish and they understood el ley del Señor, the law of God. Si una persona quiere hacer la cosa correcto, es lo que es importa. Are you hearing me? What matters, what's important is that someone wants to do the right thing. They want to stand for the law of God. That's what matters. So if it's English-speaking people who want to drag us into hell, and it's Hispanic-speaking people that want to save the republic, and I'm not saying that's what's happening, but if it was, I'd take that in a heartbeat, okay? Because the 10 Commandments were written in Hebrew. I'll be right back.